Hey everybody, this is our second What in the World vlog.
One thing when we were talking about what we wanted to discuss with Star Wars, we actually considered talking about economics as being a possible topic. So this vlog is about something that we didn't talk about in the Star Wars episode, which is economics and
World building, which, yeah, we did not choose that for Star Wars because Star Wars actually does not involve economics very much.
I mean, I don't know. I think it does, but I think the whole point of the prequels and their conflict involved trade relations. But I thought that trade relations was kind of a blurry topic to try and do for economics, since it's also very much about law and politics, which we already kind of covered.
And the fact that they just don't go into detail about it at all. Like, it's one thing to have a trade dispute, but, there's no explanation of just how this is economically affecting anybody. It's just like, oh, trade dispute, send the Jedi, and then the rest of the plot ensues.
Yeah, it's definitely not as, intricate or detailed. And, I mean, I'm actually kind of thankful for that, because that would have made the movies even more boring than they could already be at times of the prequels. I mean, admittedly. Oddly enough, The Force Awakens kind of, brought the topic back up with that first scene with Rey getting, this food portion from this alien, which it kind of was interesting to see this portion of food being used as currency rather than...
Yeah, and then you also get, the sense of, what is worth what, and that's some, actual economics. I think Star Wars is really the sort of threshold case. With shows like Firefly, you can dissect the value of different items to different societies within a given world. Like, the inner planets are like, oh gosh, food, it's all in abundance. And then the outer planets are like, oh my gosh, a strawberry, this is priceless.
And that's, I think, part of economic structure, actually, is what are items or currency, what is that worth to different parts of your society? I think it's Book of Eli that has this, where, a toothbrush is worth, a ton of money. They're, seen as these luxury items,
I don't know, some shows will take an effort to, just do away with economic aspects, usually just by ignoring the fact that certain things take certain resources. Actually, Star Trek is a really good example, because their whole idea is oh, we are all post-capitalist and money doesn't exist, and everything is run on human spirit. Most economists would say that it just doesn't work.
Well, and then you have the flip opposite, which is Jupiter ascending, which whole thing is the currency is actual human spirit.
I can't believe we actually keep bringing up Jupiter Ascending. Most people have forgotten about it already.
I fucking love this movie.
Video games will sometimes use economics too, or at least fake economics a little bit, because you have money of some kind that you buy stuff with, and then sometimes the value of those items will change based on how much you bought or where you are.
If you're, near the boss, then your items that you were buying way back at the beginning of the game are suddenly worth next to nothing, because they're not going to help you, From a logistical standpoint, that's why they do that. But actually, it kind of makes sense from a economic standpoint too, where, the Elder Scrolls has a really nice economic system where it also can be a bargaining system too, where you can get lower prices for stuff if you have enough skill in actually haggling for it. Certain items will be less or more, or they won't sell certain items because the city is essentially too poor to make them, is the idea.
I feel like one of the most well integrated economic world building would be in 1984. Because you have the constant shortages that are very real, but they're also manufactured by the state, and how much of it is bullshit or how much of it is real, you never really know. But it's you see how it affects everybody, you see how the wealth is funneled to the inner party. And I think on a whole, though, in terms of world building and all stories everywhere, I feel economics is one of the more underdeveloped things, or just not touched as much. People don't attempt to world build around economics.
Right. Well, I feel that's that when they do it, though, they also do it based more on social class and ideas about social class and how wealthy somebody is versus an actual economic system of, say, capitalism versus communism.
Yeah. It's thought of as a character trait first. This is a rich guy, this is a poor guy.
Right. And I think that kind of comes from a lot of world builders operating in what we have now, which is a globally predominantly capitalist society. So everything that gets created isn't necessarily created based on everyone having everything or there being no money or whatever. I mean, sometimes it is, but when economics is a factor, it's generally very capitalist, because that's kind of the world we live in.
Yeah, pretty much.
As a global economy.
Yeah, and if it's not, it's a thing.
Right.
Thank you, everybody, for watching our economics vlog.
Yeah, I think that's about all we have for you. If you want to comment about like something that you're thinking about when it comes to economics, if it's in a world that you've built or in a world that you've seen, we'd love to hear about it.
Check out our next episode. It'll be a mini-sode coming out next week.
Which we're excited about. Anyway, until we see you next time, stay curious.
And stay creative.